Hi everyone, I'm Mrs Maxwell, one of the deputies here at Locato. I think a lot of you do know who I am already, but I thought I'd better introduce myself in case some of you don't. I'm here today to talk to you about the Big Draw. The Big Draw is something we do here every year at Locato. Normally you spend lots of time in class producing some wonderful artwork and then your parents come in to view it in an exhibition. We can't have visitors in school, unfortunately, at the moment, so we're going to have to change the way that we do things. This year we're going to use Seesaw for you to post your drawings onto so that we can have an online exhibition of your work. But first of all, you'll need to know what the theme for the Big Draw is. Well, the people at Big Draw have renamed the festival this year to the Big Green Draw. They've created a theme called A Climate of Change, and they want to highlight the way that people and nature interact. Sometimes we interact really well with nature and we don't damage the planet at all. For example, when we go out to forest schools, we are really respectful about the environment that we're in and we always leave it in a really good way. However, there are some things that we do not so well, such as polluting our planet through the use of cars, the waste that we produce, and I'm sure you have lots of other ideas about how we damage our planet. I'm going to read a little story to you in a little while that helps us to understand that a bit more. But the Big Green Draw this year doesn't want us to focus on the damage that we're doing to our planet. It wants to channel your mindsets into positive action. What can we do to make sure that people and nature work together really well? The Trouble with Dragons by Debbie Gliori. The trouble with dragons is dragons make dragons, and they make some more, till there are wall-to-wall dragons making dragons galore. Dragons eat all the food and drink all the drink, and use everything up without stopping to think. They also throw parties and make loads of noise, and leave a huge mess after playing with their toys. Dragons chop down the forests, which melts both the poles, and puncture the atmosphere full of big holes. Dragons blow out hot air, which makes everything hotter and hotter and hotter until all the snow melts and the ice turns to water. Then the seas start to rise and the deserts expand until everything's covered in water or sand. Say goodbye to the world into which you were born. Soon everyone else will have packed up and gone. Everyone except the dragons, poor dragons. Imagine a world with no birds and no bees, just dragons as far as a dragon can see. Don't go, wailed the dragons. Don't leave us alone. A world without wildlife is no kind of home. If you stay, we all promise to do what it takes to look after the planet for all of our sakes. As the waters rose higher, right over their knees, a voice said, "Okay, start by not chopping down trees." Then all of the animals chimed in with advice, from the greatest of elephants to the smallest of mice. Eat food that is grown much closer to home, and leave the wild places and ice caps alone. Stop blowing all that hot air, but instead choose to walk and put less of our world on the end of your fork. Respect all Earth's creatures and cherish the land. Recycle, reuse, and reduce your demands. So, if you know a dragon, and most of us do, ask it if it thinks that this story is true. For if we can't see that our stories are linked, then sadly, like dragons, we'll soon be extinct. I wonder what they mean by our stories are linked. What do you think? Do you think that maybe we're a bit like dragons too sometimes? Maybe we need to think about whether we're wasting things or doing things that are damaging to the planet. Because we really do need to change our ways, otherwise animals will become extinct. But there are lots of things that we can do. Why don't you over half term research some ways
in which we can help the planet, and then use that as inspiration for your big green drawing. You can do your drawing in any which way you like. It can be a pencil drawing, you can use colour, you can use pencils, felt tips, pastels, crayons, paints, collages, whatever you like. But I want to see some drawing skills in amongst that too. When you've created your masterpiece, please could you take a picture of it and post it onto your Seesaw. That means that me and Mrs. Cafferty can have a look at all of your wonderful creations, and we're going to pick the best for a special shout out assembly after half term. Will your drawing feature? I hope so. Please make sure that you've done your drawing by the Tuesday after half term. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what you've all created. Have a great half term, everybody. Bye.